the value that you get out of owning one of your customer acquisition channels and having control over CAC, even if it's just 10% of your new customer acquisition, just being able to be like, nobody could take that from me, to me is much more valuable than like the potential risk, which is probably not even going to happen, of brand damage from partnering with affiliates.
If you're running paid social ads, you'll know that creative is the variable. Knowing what creative is working, what's not, and how to develop more winning ads is so dependent on understanding actual creative performance at a granular level. At Fly Performance, we use motion for all of our creative reporting. It's frankly transformed our ability to develop, find, and scale more winning ads, driving more revenue and more profit for our clients. Motion empowers your creative and marketing teams with the data they need to make the right decisions through visualized and easily digestible, customizable reporting that clearly identifies the key drivers of creative performance, taking the guesswork out of creative to generate more revenue from your paid social ads. If you're ready to learn how the best DTC and e-commerce brands use motion to ship winning Meta, TikTok, and YouTube ads, book a demo today or create a free account at motionapp.com. Even better than that, Motion offers a monthly subscription plan so you can dodge all those annoying annual contracts. It's a common phrase in e-commerce that creative wins the click, your landing pages seal the conversion. If you want to convert more paid traffic, you need to own and optimize your post-click experience. One of the best solutions we've found at Fly Performance has been FERMÁT. FERMÁT's drag and drop no-code builder lets your marketing team create funnels the same way they create ads. From dynamic landing pages to targeted PDPs, custom carts, FERMÁT enables you to convert more paid traffic by experimenting and owning your post-click experience. Learn more at fermatcommerce.com. That's FERMÁT, F-E-R-M-A-T, commerce, C-O-M-M-E-R-C-E.com. Managing your influence and creator marketing doesn't have to be a headache. At Fly Performance, we use Insense. Insense is a one-stop shop to discover and collaborate with creators to produce UGC content for organic social and increase your advertising performance through whitelisted ads on Instagram and Spark ads on TikTok. After trying several other solutions, we landed on Insense, and it's proven to be by far the best platform for streamlining and simplifying the entire process from discovery, briefing, launching ads, and managing payments. Our teams and clients love it. If you're working with influencers and creators to produce user-generated content for your brand or business, you should definitely check them out. You can learn more by going to insense.pro. That's Insense, INSENSE.pro. Welcome back to Bite Sized. I'm really hyped today. I've got Noah Tucker on the podcast, founder and CEO of Social Snowball, a platform that provides affiliate, influencer, and ambassador programs for DTC brands. We're going to dive into mainly the world of affiliates today. It's a space that I'm super interested in. It's a legacy vertical that's evolving significantly, and Noah and Social Snowball, I think, are one of the companies at the forefront of really pushing that forward and working with some great DTC brands. So, Noah, welcome to Bite Sized.
Thank you for having me. That was an awesome introduction. I'm excited to be here.
Of course, man. Of course. So for anyone who doesn't know you, why don't we kick it off with just give us your 5-minute career story, kind of where it started and what you're doing now at Social Snowball and why did you start Social Snowball?
Yeah, absolutely. So it all started right out of high school, actually, is where like I first got sucked into the e-commerce world. And from there, I kind of got into paid media. I was doing some consulting for brands. I was building some drop shipping stores in the early days, just kind of got like very deep into the whole advertising for brands world. So mostly consulting and media buying was like, you know, what I became focused on. I was deep in that world for about 4 or 5 years. And so I kind of built like a nice little first career for myself in this like media buying and advertising for e-commerce brands world. And with any brand I work with, even though like my biggest focus was media buying, I would always build an ambassador and an affiliate program for those brands. Like that was just like a checklist item I would never miss. And there like, so with that, like I was using a lot of the existing tech that existed in the Shopify ecosystem to power these types of partnerships. So I used the tools that, you know, were out there. And at the time they just felt very clunky. Things that were simple, like payouts and affiliate onboarding, were very manual and confusing. And at the time I was just like, wow, these tools really aren't great. And I think like in hindsight now, looking back, it's not necessarily that those affiliate tools weren't great. It's just that the word affiliate has changed a lot. Kind of what you were talking about with like a legacy vertical that's transformed. But with the time like that these affiliate platforms that I was using back then were created, the word affiliate meant something different than what it means today. If you were to say the word affiliate to someone like 10 years ago in the e-commerce world, they would be thinking of things like publishers, listicles, review sites, media buyers. Like that's what an affiliate was. And those are still affiliates today. But there's also a new type of affiliate that brands were partnering with. And at the time when I was setting up ambassador and affiliate programs for these brands, like this was the type of affiliate I wanted to partner with. And now I call these the modern affiliate. And I mean by that, like influencers, creators, ambassadors, and even your own customers. Those were the affiliates that I was trying to partner with. But the tech that I was using, and really the only tech that existed to enable these partnerships, was built for these publisher and listicle affiliates. Mm-hmm. And what I realized is the user experience and functionality that one of these legacy affiliates needs is very different than what one of these more modern affiliates needs. It's just two different channels. There's no good or bad for each. They're just different. And so, since they both are under the umbrella of the word affiliate, brands were trying to and myself included, were trying to partner with these influencers and creators using tech built for publishers and review sites and blogger affiliates. And it's just two totally different things. And so at the time when I was facing these challenges, I was just like, wow, all these affiliate tools really suck. And I'm so surprised like that they don't have these simple features that would make them so much better. Now in hindsight, I realized that they didn't suck. They were just built for a different type of affiliate. And so essentially Social Snowball and the reason we launched it is this is really the first affiliate platform for D2C that's laser focused on enabling partnerships with this new modern affiliate. So you could kind of think of that as like an influencer management tool, except we aren't like a platform that's like focused on helping brands generate content or deliverables from influencers or just generating UGC or building brand awareness. Like we are at our core an affiliate platform, but we kind of had to rebuild all of the pieces of a traditional affiliate platform so that the user experience for both brands and these creator ambassadors that are on, the receiving end of the program, we need to make that as simple, frictionless, and intuitive as possible. So that's essentially where, how Social Snowball started, and that's where the idea came from. Today, we've been around for about 4 years now, almost 4 years. We're working with over 2,000 Shopify and Shopify Plus brands. It's a like you said, it's an industry that's changed a lot, and it's a really exciting space to be in. Seeing this shift of what affiliate used to be versus what it is today.
Amazing, man. Congrats. I like that. And it's often the case where a personal need is the catalyst for like, I'm going to build it. I'm doing this and I want something different, then other people are going to want to and benefit from it as well. And with over 2,000 brands, it wasn't just you who wanted these functionalities. One thing I want to dive into just to initially is creators, influencers, UGC, affiliates, ambassadors. The phrases are often used interchangeably. So, I have my own classification and we kind of think of like influencers are this type of person, creators are this type of person, affiliates are this. What's your classification and how should people be thinking about what the differences are?
I'll start by saying that my take here is subjective and that these words are like will have different interpretations to different people. But like the way I see it is affiliate is a type of partnership model. An affiliate partner is someone that you're partnering with on a performance only basis, meaning you are paying them a commission of the revenue that they drive, the attributable revenue that they drive. It is a partnership structure. There's multiple like personas that can be an affiliate. So those personas can be influencers, creators, ambassadors, customers, or like publishers, bloggers, listicles, review sites. The word affiliate is more just like the partnership structure between the individual. An influencer is someone who has a following on social media, by my definition. A creator is an individual with the capacity to create content, whether they have a following or not. An ambassador is usually the same as an influencer, but some brands will refer to ambassadors as like more micro influencers that are part of a brand's community. So maybe like a customer that is a little bit more than just like referring one friend, like they're an active advocate, they're engaging with the brand, they're promoting it more than just like referring one friend. And then referral is usually the term to describe like a customer referral relationship where customers are incentivized to refer friends to the brand. All of this I put under the umbrella, like the big overarching word, I like to use the word of mouth marketing. Like I think that captures everything that we just discussed, but those would be my definitions.
I'm on board. So I think we just defined it. That should be the gold standard of definitions.
Let's do that. Let's make that happen.
That's the goal. That's the gold standard. I saw a recent post of yours, and I think this would be a good place to start for, I'm sure people listening have varying degrees of understanding of affiliates and kind of the old way and the new way. But from a recent post of yours, there's many different types of affiliates. And so probably some of this is legacy and probably some of this is kind of the modern affiliate, as you mentioned. Can you break that down a little bit more to help kind of understand what those differences are?
Yeah. So to talk more about the legacy affiliates, it's something that we're all super familiar with. So if you were to search something like best Father's Day gifts, for example, and then search that on Google, you would see a ton of these legacy affiliates show up in the results. And they're basically like review sites and listicles. So, or like top 10 sites. So it's like, it'll be like top, 50 Father's Day gifts. And then you'll scroll through all these different products and they'll have like a little description. And then there's an affiliate link for each product linking back to that brand. And then if you make a purchase from that brand within whatever cookie duration, there'll be, attribution to that publisher. And then a commission will be, paid to them. That's like the traditional legacy affiliate. As far as modern affiliates, I in my head, there's like two main categories. So there's influencers and then there's customers. So influencers are kind of what we talked about, just anyone with a following on social media that can promote your products to their audience using an affiliate link or code. And then we can track the sales through those links and codes. And then a customer affiliate is someone who has purchased from you that you've engaged in an affiliate relationship post-purchase. So like, at Social Snowball, we have like a thank you page widget that could give them an affiliate link, and then you could integrate in your Klaviyo flows, sending them reminders and, an example content to post and giving them the link. So customers can also be really powerful affiliates if you engage them with the right incentive structure, that which, matters a lot, and also just the right user experience post-purchase. If you make it too clunky or too confusing, they're just gonna be like, whatever, I don't really care that much. But if you make it like really intuitive and seamless, you'll have a lot of customers sharing. So those would be like the main ones. Within all of those, there's more granular subcategories I'm sure we could get into, but it gets super subjective at some point. And there's some things that people consider affiliates versus like, is that even an affiliate? So it's those are like the main categories in my head.
Maybe this is a moot point, because if brands have this perception, then maybe an affiliate program isn't right for them. But what would you say to brands who are like, oh, it cheapens my brand, having people posting codes and links and all of this sort of stuff? What would your feedback be around that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it's a business decision that, as an entrepreneur or like, a decision maker for a brand, you get to make that decision if you don't want to. My argument against it would be like, isn't your goal to acquire customers as affordably as possible? Because with an affiliate program, it's unlike other acquisition channels where you don't have full control over what your acquisition costs are going to be. You could try to keep it around a number, but like there's third-party algorithms at play that you don't really have control over. An affiliate program is really powerful because it's one of very few owned acquisition channels. Like brands are always talking about like, oh, your owned retention channels, like your email list and SMS lists, which are super valuable assets, but you could also own your acquisition channels. It doesn't just have to be third-party. And an affiliate relationship is a relationship that you own, and you're able to acquire customers through that channel without having to rely on third-party platforms. And you're able to acquire customers through that channel at a cost that you set. And if you don't acquire customers at that cost that you set as like a commission rate, you don't pay anything. Like you just nothing happens. So in my opinion, which is again my opinion, like that is more important than what you could potentially, like the potential of brand harm, because one, every brand does influencer marketing. Like it doesn't really harm the brand that much. And two, if you do it tastefully and if the messaging is aligned with all of your brand's messaging, like it won't come across as like, just off brand or whatever someone might be concerned about. So I think you definitely need to do it with taste, and you want the messaging to be aligned with the rest of your brand messaging. But if it's still a concern, like in my head, it's just like the value that you get out of owning one of your customer acquisition channels and having control over CAC, even if it's just 10% of your new customer acquisition, just being able to be like, nobody could take that from me, to me is much more valuable than like the potential risk, which is probably not even going to happen, of brand damage from partnering with affiliates.
Do you think some of that perception is that the word affiliate, from a legacy perspective, sounds like a bit of a dirty word?
Absolutely. A few years ago, I attended Affiliate World Dubai, thinking like, wow, Affiliate World, I run an affiliate platform. Like this is going to be amazing. I'm going to meet so many brands that want to partner with affiliates, and this will be, a great event for me to attend. And what an eye-opening experience that was, because that event was very, very focused. I mean, not even just legacy affiliate. This was more like black hat affiliate. Like, it was a whole world I didn't even know existed, where there's a lot of sketchy traffic sources or sketchy offerings of things that are like borderline violating Facebook's terms. If you're like very, very gray hat and black hat stuff going on. And I was like, wow, that's, everyone who's attending this event probably was expecting more of this, and me, not understanding all of the meanings of the word affiliate. I was completely blindsided walking into that event. I was like expecting it to be a bunch of Shopify brands. So I do think, to answer your question, the word affiliate can have a bad connotation with it. So like, we like to call it the modern affiliate. Like, that's kind of how we've been classifying like this new type of affiliate, where there's nothing sketchy or weird about it whatsoever. But that doesn't undo the damage that like some of these more legacy affiliate channels have already done. So it's definitely a real thing.
Hopefully you're helping change that perception. If I'm a brand or a marketer and I'm either thinking about starting an affiliate program, or let's say I've started, but I'm looking for advice or help on, well, how do I make this really effective? Like, what advice would you give? What would be like the key considerations to think about when looking to set up like an effective and scalable affiliate program?
Yeah. So I would say, like, overarching themes, you want a lack of friction, you want really good communication, and then you want gamification. Those would be like the three things. So lack of friction, meaning you want it to be easy for affiliates to do anything. Sign up, a couple of clicks. They're creating their code or link, happens automatically. Accessing their dashboard, a couple of clicks. Getting a payout, easy. No dealing with like manual bank transfers or PayPal, just like easy payout redemption. You wanted that. That's just like a theme across the entire program. And of course, like, this is something that Social Snowball has productized because it's such an important need. Like, you need your platform to be supporting this type of functionality. So lack of friction would be number one. Communication would be number two. You want to be engaging your affiliates frequently. This is your active and inactive affiliates. So like, if you have, like, you could, for example, set up like a welcome flow when your affiliates enroll in a program that could like, send them emails over the next month explaining how the program works, sending them inspiration, examples of content, giving them access to resources. Maybe if you have like a Discord group for your creators, which some brands are doing, like just another way to keep them engaged. And you just want to have a lot of frequent touch points with the creators, and email is a great way to do that. Then you could also create flows to basically re-engage unengaged affiliates. So if someone hasn't made a referral in the past 30 days, that could like trigger a flow in Klaviyo or something, but with our integration, at least you could do that. So things like that, you want to be frequently communicating to them. Brands do really creative things that we've seen, like giveaways. Everyone who refers over 5 sales in a month's period is entered into a giveaway to win whatever cool prize, like just things to keep them engaged. Does really well. So those would be removal of friction, communication, and engagement. The third is gamification. So you want to create an incentive structure that keeps affiliates in your program active for the long run. You don't want to just onboard an affiliate, they post once or twice, they generate a few sales, they get their commission, and then they forget about it. Even though that's still not like necessarily a bad thing, right? Because you're acquiring customers for a price that you set. You want them to be engaged in the long run. So we make it like super easy in Social Snowball to create what we call like reward tiers. So essentially you could build a program incentive structure where it's like, after someone refers 10 sales, send them a free gift automatically and let them like pick a gift from like a piece of your Shopify catalog that you've pre-selected as eligible for redemption, and let them redeem it in their affiliate dashboard. Then when they hit 30 sales, give them a higher commission. So maybe they go from 20 to 25% commission moving forward. Then when they hit 50 sales, they get another higher value gift. And then when they hit 100 sales, they get an even higher commission and a higher value gift. Basically, setting up these reward tiers will keep affiliates motivated to continue working towards the next milestone. And then by integrating those tiers into, Klaviyo or whatever email tool you're using, you're able to like communicate to the affiliates when they're getting close to their next tier. So if someone is like 3 referrals away from unlocking the gold tier where you get a free gift, like you could send them a reminder, and you could basically automate all the communication that you need to engage affiliates to move from one tier to another. And then all of a sudden your affiliates on average are referring double the amount of sales that they were previously. And like, you are able to scale the program dramatically without adding more affiliates, which is like a great optimization. So those would be the 3 things I would recommend to improve your program's performance.
I love the gamification piece. What's that? Yeah. What's that quote? Show me the incentive, I'll show you the action. Yeah. If by nature you are an affiliate, you want to make money, and there's a competitive element to that. So I think that's a really cool kind of tip to gamify it through a tier system. Yeah, I really like that. In general, working with influencers and creators, so much emphasis, rightly so, is placed on the creative. Right. So, when you're working with UGC or influencers for organic or whatever it might be, I imagine that's very similar with affiliates. Or am I mistaken? Like, how much emphasis should be placed on working with the affiliates that you have on the type of creative? Does it follow a similar path, and does Social Snowball do anything here when it comes to like brief development and everything else? Or is that really on the brands, or is it a bit more of a trust them and let them do whatever it takes to drive the revenue?
Yeah, it's definitely more of a trust them. They know what to create. Like, they know it's going to work. And one of the caveats of partnering with influencers as affiliates versus partnering with them as like UGC creators is the goal is for them to sell to their audience. It's not to get a creative that you're going to sell to a different audience. Like, you're trying to convert their audience directly into purchases. So you got to give them the creative freedom to do what they need to do. And of course, you could have guidelines. Like, if there's things you don't want someone to say because if it's a supplement and there's like a claim they're making that's not true, you don't want that, obviously. But within guidelines, you want to give them full creative freedom.
And when it comes to commission payouts, so I think one of the things, and it obviously it's very brand dependent, right? Based on margins and everything else. What's the typical range that you see?
Typical range is like 15 to 30%. That being said, the framework I like to use for like determining what your commission is going to be is kind of like comparing it to what your target CPA on Facebook would be. So if there's like a number on Facebook that is maybe a little bit better than you're doing now, but it's not like completely unrealistic. Like, if you were acquiring customers here, that would be awesome. Like, if you could scale that up, that'd be great. That number is usually a little bit more generous than what you're probably originally planning on paying your affiliates. And the truth is, like, you want to have this program generate revenue at scale that over the like ROAS of the program. Like, the scale of the program is more valuable than the ROI of the program. And so like what I mean by that is, let's say your program is generating revenue at a 20x ROI, which is like insane, right? Yeah, 20x ROAS equivalent. Like, that's like insanity. But that 20x ROI is accounting for 1% of your total revenue of like across every channel.
Yeah.
That's not that meaningful, right? Like, it's a great ROI, but it's 1% of your revenue. Like, for your business as a whole, that's not like moving the needle. That's not like, giving you a reason to focus more on the program. But let's say that you were able to have a program operating at a 3x ROI, and your Facebook ads are operating at a 2.5x ROI. So this is already like a pretty significant chunk better, but that's generating 10% of your total revenue. That actually changes your business, right? Like, 10% of your revenue you're acquiring for a cheaper cost than Facebook, predictable and owned channel. That's a meaningful acquisition channel for your business. So that's how I like to look at it in my head. Like, I think if you could be on the more generous side with commissions, you're setting yourself up more for the latter of those two situations, where you have a program that's like at a slightly, but significantly, but not like ridiculously higher ROI than your paid ads, but generating a actual like real chunk, 15, 20% or something of your GMV. All of a sudden, like, whoa, that's like really impactful. Business.
That makes sense. And because of the model, obviously you're only paying out once you're driving that revenue. So that makes total sense. I mean, maybe talk about how Social Snowball does this, but with affiliates, when it comes to brands, like selecting the types of affiliates, does it follow a similar path of like persona driven, the type of creative? Like, how should brands be thinking about, well, what type of affiliate makes sense for me? And what does Social Snowball do as a platform to help select the right types of affiliates?
I would say a couple of things. One, like, if you're looking at influencers to determine like, should I partner with this person? Like, there's a lot of better things to look at just beyond just like how many followers do they have and what's their engagement rate. Like that, engagement is important for sure. But the most important thing that I've seen to find, because you don't just want influencers that get a ton of likes and comments. That's great. And maybe that will build brand awareness. But our goal here is acquisition and driving sales, like not just views and engagement. So what I've noticed that pretty much every influencer has in common that's actually able to drive sales is a couple things. One is they have a lot of stories and story highlights. Like, if you go to their profile and there's not active stories, like that, meaning they haven't posted a story in the past 24 hours, already red flag. The influencers that are driving sales are posting multiple stories every single day without exception, and they have a lot of story highlights. The second thing is, are they actively posting brands? Are they already sharing brands? So in those story highlights, there should be affiliate links or like a link to a brand or a discount code to a brand in their story that's active right now. When you're clicking through, there should be some posts about a brand. If the creator is not actively sharing brands, there's a chance their audience isn't accustomed to buying from them, and they're not going to convert well because they've never bought a recommendation from this influencer. Like, this is something that people get wrong because they're like, oh, this influencer is already sharing a ton of brands. Like, it's already saturated. That is like the exact opposite.
I was just, I don't want to interrupt you. I was gonna drill down on that point, because so much of like influencer work is like, make sure they're not a sales channel for brands. Whereas, I think the difference with affiliates is, to your point, there's a really good point. If they are, and they continue to do it, and brands are continuing to partner with them, it shows, or potentially shows, that their audiences, they're kind of there for it, right? It's kind of like a shopping channel for them, which is a big difference when you're thinking about who will make a good affiliate versus who would make a good influencer or kind of like brand partnership.
Totally. Yeah. There's some influencers that people follow because they want to learn like the products that they're using because they are value that. And like these influencers, like it's all a clean business. Like these influencers are only recommending things that they genuinely love. And the people, their audience who's bought their recommendations is so happy with those recommendations. They can't wait for the next one. I mean, I know like my parents will buy anything Tim Ferriss recommends always. Like that's like their thing. And like, obviously that's a bit different, but like on Instagram, it's the same kind of deal. Like if there's brands that are constantly sharing really good products and their audience is engaging with that, like those are the ones you want to partner with. That's what I look for when finding brand. And then as far as Social Snowball helping with it, like we do have some stuff that's in the works right now with influencer matchmaking. So that's, not something we're offering for everyone yet, but it is in the works. So, we have some cool stuff on the way.
TikTok Shop, social commerce, affiliate, it's a space that everybody's getting involved in. We're seeing some really good success when it comes to working with creators and affiliates. Talk to me a bit more about what you're seeing when it comes to usage of affiliates specifically for, social commerce in general, but TikTok Shop.
Yeah, I mean, I think TikTok Shop is amazing. I think it's a channel that every brand should be on if they can, if their product is allowed to be sold on it. I mean, it's awesome because it just proves so much how influencer marketing is affiliate marketing now, which is like really a happy moment for me because like I was the one that, with Social Snowball 4 years ago being like, oh, your influencers can be affiliates. And like, that wasn't as much of a thing. Now TikTok Shop really pushed, the influencer marketing space in that direction. And it's awesome to see. So I think TikTok Shop is great. The one caveat with TikTok Shop is it's a fully separate sales channel. It's not Shopify. It's its own store. So the only, downside of that is the downside of any third-party sales channel. You don't retain the customer data. That's just, part of it. But that being said, it's an incredibly powerful channel and I think everybody should be utilizing it.
Are there any specifics that you're seeing working really well when it comes to partnering with affiliates on TikTok Shop?
I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not too much of an expert on that. Like, there's been a few trends that I've noticed. Like, I think a lot of creators, like the type of content that they're creating that does well on TikTok Shop is often super different than what they would create on other social platforms. Like TikTok Shop, I've seen these like AI made videos where it's just like, made in CapCut of these like images made in Midjourney with like an 11 Labs voiceover. And it's like this whole like AI thing. Yeah. And they're really good videos and they convert really well. But like you wouldn't see that as much on like an influencer's an influencer's Instagram page. Like it's just different. So I guess like my one piece of advice would be like, you'd want to tailor the content and the AI is just one example, but you'd want to tailor the content for TikTok, which is like a bit different than the other platforms. That's, again, I'm not like a huge expert on TikTok Shop, but I would say like that's one thing that I've definitely noticed is very real.
You mentioned AI. We've got to mention AI. Outside of that, what do you see the influence of AI having on influencer and creator marketing? Do you think we'll be in a world whereby you can't even differentiate between what's real and what's not? And where do you see that whole world going?
I hope not. I really hope not. I mean, there are like a few AI influencers, right, out there already. I don't know. Like it doesn't seem like a huge thing yet. Like it seems like more of like just kind of like a novelty right now. Like, oh, this is an influencer. That's actually just AI. It's not real. If it sticks or not, I have no idea. I'm probably leaning towards no because like the whole thing with social media is you kind of like aspire to be some part of who you're following, right? Like you really like this person because of their fitness, or you really like this person because of their lifestyle, or you're like the meals that this person creates. Like you want to cook more like that. Like it's more of a person to person connection. And I think you lose that with AI. To me, it kind of defeats a lot of the purpose of like why we like to follow each other on social media. So if I had to place my own guess, and I'm definitely not any expert here, but I would say that it's influencers, like AI influencers is not going to be a huge thing.
It's interesting how there's certain things like tech driven or just evolvements of how social media and things in general is like, it's happening and you kind of leverage it, but you don't know if it's a good thing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Well, it's happening. We're a part of it in some capacity. I don't know if I actually would rather this be a thing versus it not be a thing. To your point, like, we're actually working with an AI influencer platform through the agency. And
it's like the influencers themselves are like not real people. Is that how it works?
So it's a combination of two things. So there's a version of them that's AI, but then there's also like AI driven tools underneath it for like engagement and everything else, and exclusive content. So it's a cool platform, don't get me wrong, and the guy who's building it is, I think he's doing it in the right way. It is one of those things where it's like, my personal take is kind of similar to yours of, it was meant to be about social connection. And when we're removing that and you're connecting with an AI generated, I think there's opportunity there, don't get me wrong, but it's like, it feels left of center against what these platforms are really meant for.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. Can't talk about affiliates without talking about code leakage. It's one of the, when I think of talking to the brands that we've worked with over the years, and whenever affiliate comes up, it's like code. There's a couple of things you've answered really well about how brands should think about things. It's a business decision. One of the challenges has been, and maybe you've got some kind of updates on this, but code leakage being a real issue. How do we make sure that the codes we are using are not being spread into the dark web? Kind of mentioned from your Dubai experience. What's the solve for that? How does Social Snowball help with that?
The thing that's crazy about these code leaks is like, when a code leaks to like Honey or any of these coupon sites, and it's not an affiliate code, it's like, all right, that kind of sucks, but like, whatever, like we lost some margin in discounts. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. But when it's an affiliate codes that leak, not only are you paying out, or not only are you giving discounts to customers who shouldn't be getting discounts, but then you're paying out commissions to an affiliate that didn't refer those sales. So you're losing money on both ends. And then even worse, when you realize that the affiliate wasn't driving a lot of these sales, you have to, usually reach out to them and be like, hey, we overpaid you, like we need some money back or something. And then the affiliate's going to be like, how much did you overpay? Like, which sales came from the code leak? And you have literally no way of attributing what came from the leak versus what actually came from the affiliate driving legitimate sales. Yeah. And so it damages the relationship with the affiliate. It just creates this domino effect of disaster when it's an affiliate code that leaks. So at Social Snowball, we do have a solution for it that's included, like, with any plan in Social Snowball, and it's called Safe Links. The way I'd like to explain Safe Links, it's essentially like a coupon code alternative, like a coupon code replacement. So wherever an affiliate would have been sharing a code, they would share this link instead. So maybe it's a link in bio, or it's like a link in a story, like click here or swipe up or whatever. And so the way it works though, I mean, the link itself, it looks just like a normal affiliate link. You customize it, UTMs, shorten it, whatever you would do to a normal affiliate link, you could do to this. But the way it works is whenever a shopper clicks on a safe link and gets taken to your storefront, in real time, a unique single-use code will be generated from your Shopify and given to the shopper to use during their shopping session. So if I'm an influencer and I post like, use my link to get a discount, and 10 different people click on that link, 10 different single-use codes will be generated, one for each shopper, and then each shopper can go ahead and use that code during their purchase. But if any of those codes were to get picked up by Honey or leaked to a coupon site, either intentionally or just by like it being scraped, it just doesn't matter because they're all single-use codes, so they're valueless to these coupon sites. So it allows the influencers to still have a mechanism that passes along a discount to their audience at scale. And it allows every shopper to still redeem the same discount, but it just eliminates any challenge happening if one of those codes gets picked up by Honey or a coupon site. So that's been the solution that we've been using, and it's been incredible. We launched that a little over a year ago. And I mean, I would say like, I don't know, I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but at least like 500, 1,000 of our brands are using it for sure. Maybe even more. I think almost all of our, like most of our brands at this point are probably using it because it's just incredibly impactful, and it just allows you to scale your affiliate program without having to worry about this very common issue of code leaks.
A company like Honey who does that, would that go away eventually as more brands become more savvy about protecting against code leakage? Or are there brands that just accept it because, hey, fuck it, it's revenue?
Not only are there brands that accept it, but there's agencies that call themselves affiliate agencies that will just create affiliate deals with the coupon sites directly and then be like, look, we're driving all this affiliate revenue, but none of it's incremental. It's just people that are about to buy and then they search for a discount real quick, or Honey applies a discount automatically, and then they're paying commissions for sales they would have generated anyway. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a bit of a mindset shift. I think today, like for sure, the consensus of brands is like, we hate these coupon sites. There used to be more tech that allowed brands to like block it a little bit. Like there used to be tools, and even Social Snowball had this, where you could like either detect or prevent an injection of a coupon code. So if it was a browser extension, specifically like Honey, and it was just like injecting the code into your checkout when you're like about to buy, it like adds it automatically. There used to be technology that could block that in a Shopify checkout, but Shopify updated their checkout to checkout extensions from checkout.liquid, and that literally eliminated the possibility of that functionality existing. So Social Snowball had to sunset that feature, and there were whole businesses that were fully wiped out when Shopify did that, because the whole business was just around blocking and managing these code injections. So, Safe Links is, I think, a better solution. And I'm kind of happy that we were forced to build a different solution, because that solution was kind of trying to like manage leaks after they've happened. And like, it felt more like a Band-Aid on something that really needed surgery. And Safe Links is the surgery. Like Safe Links prevents the leak from happening in the first place. And like, if it does leak, it doesn't, nothing bad happens from that. So yeah, like, everything kind of happened for a reason there. But yeah, it's very, very interesting how big of a problem that's become. And if Honey is going to change because of like brands becoming more savvy and tools like Safe Links existing, like who knows?
It's good to know there's solutions out there though, right? Because I think that does put a lot of people off potentially, launching affiliate programs. Looking ahead then, so we kind of started off by saying like legacy to modern affiliate. What do you see like the evolution continuing to be? Like if you look ahead to what you're building at Social Snowball, or just the world of affiliates in general, and how that's now being integrated into social commerce and so much of these platforms. Even the platforms have evolved so much. You look at Instagram and now TikTok and everything. It's so creator first. It's all about the creators. What shifts or evolutions do you see in the world of affiliates if you look like a year or even 2-3 years down the line?
Yeah, I mean, I think like the big trend is that like the barrier to be an affiliate is getting lower and lower, to the point where really it's fully democratized and everyone is an affiliate, and anyone can, you could refer sales to a brand by any means, like you could be an affiliate. So that's like a trend that it used to be very exclusive, right? Only like bloggers, you have to apply, and it's like you have to hit these criteria. Now, even with TikTok Shop, I think you only need to have like 5,000 followers to be an affiliate. So it's cool to see like the definition of affiliate becoming more and more democratized, and just like really anyone can be an affiliate. You could refer a friend, you're an affiliate. And then, so that's one trend that I see continuing for sure. The other one is like what you're talking about, like TikTok Shop is just getting started, and there's going to be, similar products on other social media platforms. So I think that's going to change the way affiliate is entirely. And that's really exciting to see as well. Again, like more moving in the direction where influencers now are affiliates. And that's, just really cool to see. So I think like, I think YouTube just announced YouTube shopping, and then Meta is going to sure come out with an affiliate for their shopping product as well. So that's definitely the direction where everything's heading.
I agree. And I'm here for it. I think it's exciting. And I think like the use of affiliates and just the perception, like it's good to see that that's changing a little bit. Yeah. Like to your point, because it has had this dirty connotation when you think of legacy, and you don't really know where it's being posted or what's happening. So it's great to see the evolution. And on that note, and you kind of, Social Snowball is kind of at the forefront of that. What are you, outside of just continuing to work with more brands, I'm sure, what are you most excited about? Or is there anything you can share in terms of what you're working on at Social Snowball?
One thing I mentioned before, and I can't get yet into too much details, but we are building some cool solutions for helping brands find those influencers to partner with as affiliates. That's like a big focus for us. We have a really great platform for managing that relationship, but the next piece of that is, how are you going to add new affiliates to your program consistently that are, really good fit, a really good fit. So that's the new problem that we're going to, be tackling.
Well, no, as I kicked it off by saying affiliates is a world I know a little bit about, but, at the agency, we don't do affiliate marketing yet. So it's been a real good education for me to kind of learn a bit more, and good to hear that there's a modern way of running affiliates. So I really appreciate the time, and congrats on what you're building at Social Snowball. If anyone's listening and wants to get in touch, and we'll drop all the links in the podcast, like what's the best way to reach out and learn a bit more about what you're up to at Social Snowball?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, if any brand is interested in checking out Social Snowball, our website is socialsnowball.io, and you could, book a meeting with our team there. If anyone wants to talk to me directly about any of this stuff, I love talking about this stuff. So LinkedIn or Twitter, Noah Tucker, I love chatting about this stuff. So feel free to hit me up there. And I think that's everything.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being on. Really appreciate it, mate.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. This is a great time.